Hello, and welcome to Gaia's Wisdom Podcast, where this week we're talking about the new moon in Capricorn and then a rapid shift in energy that follows right after. So, if a good 2 weeks into 2026, you feel like you've missed on that whole new year, new you train, I just want to say you haven't. These trains will keep on coming this year. And if you're ready to jump on it now, there's one arriving at the station on Sunday, January 18th at 7:51 p.m. Universal Time. So adjust that for your own time zone. And that's the new moon in Capricorn, happening at 28:43 minutes in your birth chart. So do look that up to see which area of your life it's affecting the most. Now, this is not the most magical of the new moons. Actually, the moon doesn't like being in Capricorn because they have a completely different vibe. So in Capricorn, she's forced to give up her natural feminine intuition for masculine order and practicality and discipline. Not her jam. But as every new moon, it is still a beginning of a new lunar cycle. Although this one particularly also feels like a big ending, not just of the previous lunar cycle, of a whole era. Now, let's examine what's ending here so that it'll help you understand what to begin with this new moon. With Capricorn's practical, grounded, systematic energy, this new moon is the time for you to set up the systems and structures that will hold the new you through the new year and help you feel safe and grounded when the world around you is falling apart. It's a chance for you to set the foundation of what you want to build in the long term, giving your wishes a tangible form. And it's probably the last opportunity we'll get to do something in such a straightforward way in who knows how long. The next couple of years, at least, I'm guessing. So, as I say this, know that it's never my intention to make you freak out about what's coming in 2026. Now, if you do know what is coming, I've just created a free workshop for you, and I will leave the link for you to sign up for that under this episode. Now, the reason I created this whole workshop, and we'll be touching on some of that in this episode as well, is that yes, the year ahead of us is turbulent. So if your intention was to hide and just flow with wherever life takes you, I'm sorry to say this isn't the year. But also, I would like you to recognize that the part of you that wants to keep pretending that status quo is the best thing since sliced bread, which I think it's a fitting metaphor because none of them are actually good. They just make us comfortable. I want you to recognize that this is not who you actually are. And this is the year when you have no choice but to step into your power and become the woman you know you were always meant to be, even if it's terrifying to your human self. So buckle up, babe, and let's look at how to use this new moon to build your support systems. So, usually, a new moon is a new beginning. It's the time to set intentions for the coming lunar cycle. Now, as mentioned, this one isn't just about the lunar cycle, though. Being the first new moon of 2026, it's meant to also set the energetic foundation for the entire year ahead. Except the energy is shifting radically right after this full moon, and I mean right after. Now, here's why. This whole Capricorn season, which began with winter solstice on December 21st, which, wow, almost feels like a lifetime ago now. So this Capricorn season was heavily emphasized because we didn't just have the sun in Capricorn. For most of January, all of the personal planets, so Mercury, Venus, and Mars, have been hanging out in Capricorn too. And I actually wrote a piece about that, which you can find on my Substack, Gaia Cycles. Now, the personal planets are how you experience yourself and the world on a very, well, personal level, which also means that this January holds a lot more significance for how your life is going to unfold this year than January usually does, because it's meant to still be a time of deep winter sleep when it comes to natural cycles. And I also wrote about that on my Substack, by the way. So this new moon is also special because it's happening at the very end of the Capricorn season, just 30-ish hours before Aquarius season begins. So she's tired, but she's also full of wisdom and mastery that she accumulated throughout the entire cycle. Like a wizened elder, the crone, a threshold, really, between the old and the new. And when I say that, I don't just mean it because of the timeline that it's happening on, but also because of the energy that these two very different zodiacs carry. So now let's look at that. Capricorn is the old, ruled by Saturn, which is the timekeeper and the lord of karma amongst the planets. Capricorn, in its basic expression, is about rules, regulations, and the systems that uphold them. It represents the old guard and the traditional way of doing things. It relishes hard work as the only means of building something lasting and sustainable. It's about what you do in the world, your career or profession, what you are known and respected for. It's earthy, it's grounded, and it's realistic, often to a fault. And even in its higher expression, where Capricorn connects you to your soul purpose here on Earth and helps you build your legacy, Capricorn is still going to make you put your head down and work for it. Now, I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Working hard for what you believe in, for your soul purpose, will give you a sense of accomplishment and help you to actually achieve it. Still, Capricorn is the old paradigm. And no matter how we spin it, the old paradigm is crumbling. Now, on the other hand, Aquarius is the new. It's the disruptive spirit of a collective revolution that brings positive change. A rebel with a cause, if you will. The age of Aquarius and all of that. A new world order, really. And I'm actually going to be getting that into my next Substack post, which may or may not become a podcast episode. But for now, here are a few things that will give you the context for this Capricorn new moon that we have at hand. 1. Only 2.5 hours after the moon herself is moving into Aquarius. Venus, your feminine sense of love, beauty, and abundance, is doing so the day before the full moon on the 17th. The sun, your potential, and Mercury, your mind, are doing it on the 19th and or the 20th, depending on your time zone. And then Mars, which is your masculine assertion and the way you take action, is moving into Aquarius on the 23rd. So, just days after this new moon, We will have been completely immersed in these new energies on a personal level, but also going through collective activations as each of these personal planets makes important aspects with the outer impersonal planets. Again, tune back in next week for more on that. Now, the question, of course, becomes, how do you work with this moon? And I have a few suggestions. So first, set intentions, because that's what we do on a new moon, for the practical systems and structures that will help you ground it when it feels like the new paradigm is pulling the rug from under your feet, because that's what it's going to do. Number two, check the house that this new moon falls into in your birth chart, and then pour extra attention into the area of your life that it's affecting. Like, for example, for me, this is all happening in my 6th house of work and health. So I'm really focusing on the daily routines that support my well-being, because then that helps me be very efficient in my work while I also stay healthy. Number 3, don't do what you've always done. Yes, Capricorn loves tried and tested methods, but be honest with yourself. How many of those are actually still working for you? And if you feel tempted to set an intention for something you know is bound to be nothing but a failed resolution, just, be kind to yourself and don't. Because this is what is important to keep in mind with this new moon that is ending with the old. With the incoming paradigm shift, even what actually used to work for you in the past likely won't work anymore in the near future. So you might as well get out of the box. Capricorn will hate it, but Aquarius and your future self will love you and thank you for it. And if you notice new visions, new perspectives, and new priorities emerging, honor that without getting all sentimental about what's no longer serving a purpose for you. Change is a catalyst for growth. You are allowed to change. In fact, you are designed to change all the time. And new approaches always breed new results. And I think we're all ready for that this year. So I will see you at the other side of this moon, and I will also see you in the brand new free workshop that I have created for you to get a head start on the energy of 2026, because cliche as it sounds, we all actually want the same thing. We want this to be the best year of our lives. Now, it's still up to you to make sure that that's the case with the choices you make and the actions you take. But the workshop will give you clarity, and it will give you a direction in which you want to turn in order to make sure that that happens. So I will see you there. I am wishing you a wonderful new moon in Capricorn for whatever it brings, and I will talk to you again next time. Bye for now.